What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to start off the day talking a little Scream 6 and talking about that picture that was revealed yesterday. So, I try to make these, open statements in the beginning, and I said this with Steven, right, of Craven Something Scary. It's odd to talk about it like it's a spoiler, because ultimately, you imagine these are stills, these are shots from the trailer that we're getting within the next 2 to 3 weeks, right? So is it really a spoiler? I mean, maybe, and if you don't want to watch it, that's totally, I have full respect for that. That's okay. But a few days ago, right, we had the cast, here's the additional, rumors of it. It was Gail, right? Gail was behind Mindy's shoulder. We had kind of debated if it was like Liana, but that is Gail. And then they're looking at now I kind of got this right in the sense that it's wide. It's a wide-ranging thing. They're looking at, all the Ghostface costumes of the past, but the masks are missing. And that was a thing that Viewer Non, I think, talked about even before then, that the killer would be using older masks. Not as old as, Michael Myers, the decayingness of Michael Myers' mask in Halloween 2018, but it would be old. So we had all that. And, again, it kind of leads in, it does make sense, right? So he kind of warns us that, Ghostface may be wearing an old mask. Then this shot, we have to wait for the trailer, but all the Ghostface costumes, but without the, the masks attached. So they're stealing the masks. And then we get to this behind the scenes stuff again that Viewer Non talks about. Is it seems like this is maybe taking place on Halloween, or it's close enough where the store owners or the people in the store don't know that it's actually the real Ghostface. They think it's a prank attached with it's just somebody wearing the Ghostface costume. But Tara and Sam were chased through the streets and went into, and I believe it is a bodega, right? They went into the bodega and they're hiding. And so the question is, the shotgun, I mean, we're going to talk about all aspects of this picture in a second, but, aiming the shotgun, is he aiming it, or is Ghostface in general aiming it at Sam and Tara? Is this can't be where the fridge is, right? Where Tara gets in the fridge. So where are they hiding? Is the shotgun facing them, or is it facing somewhere else? Okay, so you have all that, and again, that's kind of the behind the scenes rumor to it, is that the store owners and the people in there, they don't think it's real, or they don't at least think that's the actual Ghostface, but Sam and Tara do know that it's actually that person. So you have that. A couple other things to make notice of before we even talk about the costume is in the back, right behind, no longer with us. I guess it doesn't have to be. I mean, they could have been hit in the head or something. There's no blood, including there's no blood also on Ghostface, so that's important, I guess, to notice, but there is a person laying down back there. And then, of course, you get to Ghostface, themselves, along with the shotgun. So let's start with the shotgun, right? Because this is interesting. And I try to take a couple steps back, right, and look at it from I guess a few steps back perspective, in that you see on Twitter, and I saw people actually talking about this on Twitter, right? So you have the people that say, well, Ghostface has to change things up, right? Can't just use the big knife like they do in every movie. You got to do some different weapons. And, we thought we would get a little of that with Scream 5, and ultimately, the biggest change up was 2 knives, used to kill Dewey. That was the most kind of creative they got with the knives. And then also, I believe, you had the flamethrower in the stab footage. So, a little tongue-in-cheek there, but really, there was no change. And so, you've had fans online saying, well, what? And now I've said this, when we've heard, and we did hear rumors, that Ghostface would be using different weapons besides just a knife in Scream 6. Now, I will say, I've gone on record saying I would prefer blunt objects. So anything I'm not asking for a sword or something, but anything that, it could be heavy that you could whack is kind of the idea that I would have. I know I threw out, for fun, a spear or something, even something long and sharp. And you can imagine, if you're at a museum or if you're at really anywhere and you have it on display, you could take it and use it, right? So there are a lot. I mean, you think of a javelin or a spear, it's well, who's really carrying those around? That's a fair point. But, you don't know what location they could be in and what display, artifacts are there. You can make things work. So the shotgun is a risky idea. I will 100% say that. The shotgun is risky. I know people then say, technically, at the end of all these movies, Ghostface always uses a gun, technically, right? Now, they are stretching. And now here's the deal. Maybe I should say this first. I don't actually mind the shotgun. I'm not like 100% on board with it, but I'm not like, ew, like gross, this is wrong, stuff like that. I don't even know if I'm necessarily in the middle. I generally accept it, but I do want to, talk about, the conversation that fans have. When people say, well, Ghostface always has the gun. Well, they do, but it's without the mask on. So you're not really Ghostface anymore. You're that person. So like, when Jill has the gun, that's Jill now. It's not and that's, I guess, how I view it. Or you look at the end of 5 with Amber and Rich, or like, let's say Amber, because she had the costume on, right? And Richie didn't. So Amber has the costume on, but she takes the mask off. She has a gun, and she's using the gun throughout it. Or when she kills Liv, she has a gun. She is Ghostface, but she's not dressed up. So there is separation there that I think people are, to make the point, they're kind of just forgetting that point, and I think they're doing it on purpose, to be honest with you. But I don't honestly mind it. I don't need like a spree of eliminations, let's say, with a shotgun. I just don't need that. I don't really want that, but 1 or 2 I think is fine. And to mix up, and it's a cool shot. It is a really, really cool shot. So I'm not opposed to it. I just don't want a shotgun throughout the whole thing, which I don't think we're going to get in the first place, right? So you got that. Then you have the costume itself. Now, 2 different parts to it, and maybe people have already pointed this out. Of course, I'm just kind of throwing my hat in the arena to talk about it. So the mask definitely aged. You gotta have to zoom in a little bit. Some people have cleaned up the picture, like made it a little bit, I guess, brighter or more vivid, and you can see mainly above the eyes, right here, right where I'm kind of breaking out with all this stuff, right above there on his mask, or her, or whatever, you could see noticeable decaying, really blackening almost of the mask. I really like it. Oh boy, I really like it. And I do like that, that is probably what Viewer Non meant when he said, this is not to the level of Michael's mask. This is, a little bit less than that. Because I don't know how it would feel if there's like kind of cracks going all the way down and like, Ghostface's mask, like the Y, or like when it gets narrow with the mouth. I don't know if I would have liked to seen that like molding and blackened and all these like streaks in it. I don't really think I need that, to be honest with you. I like the idea that kind of right above the, where it's the indent of the eyebrow up. I like that look. So I think that's a really cool idea. And it's got to be Scream 1's mask, right? I guess it doesn't have to be, but you imagine, I don't know, like that's the longest one. Unless there's a mask that looks older than that one, then maybe that would be it. But if this is like the oldest looking mask in the movie, then it probably is Scream 1's movie. So that's like, what does that mean? We'll talk about that maybe in future videos. I don't know. It really does seem like it could be a cult thing. Like where there's multiple people kind of participating in it. They know the history of like all of the films. I mean, like there's some cool stuff going on. And then you get the robe. And you could also throw out Amber, though. I think Roman was the first person that people went to say, this could be him. To be fair, from what I've seen from, like, if you look back at the pictures, Roman's has a lot of shots on it. I think there's more kind of tear up of the robe than Amber. Amber was only shot like 3 or 4 times from Dewey. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But, she was definitely, I believe, had less of an impact on her robe than Roman did. And the robe that we see in the bodega, that one definitely looks like it's not been, as destroyed as maybe Roman's. But I could be reading too much into that. Oh, and I guess final thing, maybe I should have started with this. This is definitely real. Like one of the funniest, we'll end it with this. This is actually the most funny thing. I saw this after multiple hours after it was shown on Twitter, Thanksgiving and all. And then, but one of the things I found really funny was in the comments, to be flat out honest, it's a 50-50 split of people that thought it was flat out fake. Now, I will say this, back to the shotgun thing, while I'm okay with it, and I think the shot looks cool, the concept that people thought it was fake because it was so kind of ridiculous or silly that Ghostface is holding a shotgun, that's not a good look. I just want to kind of throw that out there. I'm not saying it's doomsday for the movie or the movie's screwed or anything like that, and I get it because it's like, the trailer's not out yet. So if the trailer's out, then you kind of have the discussion of, well, is the shotgun silly? Is it necessary? Is it needed? Whatever. But before the trailer is out, you don't know. You don't know if it's actually a real shot. So of course you're going to have people saying, well, it could be fake. it is real. It's the exact same backdrop that we've seen the cast take pictures of, and Jenna and Melissa standing in the store, in the property, when they were filming. It's 100% that location. That's 100% real. It is just, I don't know, is it alarming? Is it funny? I think generally it's funny, but it maybe also is a little worrying that, like, it looks so, I don't even know what the right word, like, campy is probably not the right, that's the first word that came to mind. But when you have people saying, like, you know, with the pose that Ghostface has with the shotgun, that it looks fake, or it has to be fake because, like, that is so ridiculous. You know, that's an opinion. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's not even a right or wrong opinion. It's just an opinion, and I don't even know if you want that opinion, you know, out there. So again, we'll see how much the shotgun is used, because I just think, I don't know, it's a killer. They need the knife for the most part. You have to change it up a little bit. I would have preferred, again, like blunt, like a baseball bat or something that's like a blunt object, or like a sharp thing. Not necessarily, you know, the guns, I guess, shotguns, pistols. Again, like, I know they use them at the end of the movie, but not necessarily during the middle and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But hey, happy day after Thanksgiving to the Scream, community out there. I hope you guys had an awesome day yesterday and weekend and all that. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your Black Friday, your shopping deals, to watch this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.